Ah, it's a great day. Number 30, Lacerum Grandia. The topic is blue. I got the blues. The color of blue depends on the shade. It can be bright, dark, sky with all different effects. The ancient Egyptians were the first to create a permanent pigment of blue and have used it for the past 6,000 years. So stay tuned. Live from Pine Top, Arizona, it's That Painting Show starring the Color Queen. Here's Betty.
Hi folks, I'm Beth Zink. Welcome to day 30 of That Painting Show. Another milestone. Wow, can't believe we've done 30 of these, but then yes I can. Today's theme is the color blue, and it's based on this series of new blue paintings I've been doing. But first, before I get started, who's today's lucky duck, Dr. John?
The lucky duck is Rosie from Iowa.
Rosie!
Coming in.
Rosie, thank you. Rosie from Iowa. Rosie says, "Hey Beth, I love your new works of art. Good job on the website. It's nice to be able to see all you have done." Well, I can't take credit for the website. I have a great company that did that for us. But I'm glad you enjoy it. I think it's an upgrade, but you know, it was time. So there, as Dr. John told you, there are lots of different colors of blue and, you know, a whole range. But part of the inspiration for these paintings was I had a birthday recently, and Dr. John got me these beautiful blue orchids.
Plus a new wig.
A new
A Jane Fonda rig.
Jane Fonda from the book club, that wig.
That's right.
Anyway, we were due for a new wig. So with blues, you know, blue is one of your primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, but you can make blue greens, you can make blue violets, light blues, dark blues, denim blues, drab blues. And what I thought I'd do is, first of all, I wanted to tell you the background color in these paintings is actually ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, which is kind of the light or more medium blue, with some Payne's gray and just a touch of white. And it gives you kind of a grayed out blue, almost like you can make like denim colors with it. So what I'm going to show you here is cobalt blue with Payne's gray. You can see it's quite dark. And then when you add a little bit of white to it, you can get these more, can you see how that kind of has a denim sort of look? And can even get it lighter to, it's a grayed out blue. So that's what I use for the background colors here. My go-to blue, when you think about the color wheel and your primary colors, I think of ultramarine blue, which is the deeper blue. It actually kind of leans a little bit toward blue violet. So when I'm using it to paint a sky, I put a touch, just a touch of raw sienna in it and add some white. So what happens with a sky, if you use the ultramarine blue straight, I'm going to show you what that looks like. If you use it straight, it's a little too bright for a sky. But if you add just that touch of an earth tone to it, it just kind of makes it look a little bit more natural. If you get too much, it'll go green, so let's put a little bit more.
Is that more of a calming effect?
Yes. I mean, it's just a little, it drabs it out a little bit by putting a little earth tone in it.
Like sky blue?
Well, there's a lot of different sky blues, you know that. But the more white you add to it, the more natural it starts to look. So I think that's my trick, my sky blue trick. You can also make a sky blue using the cobalt with a little raw sienna. And I'm going to show you how that differs. Cobalt, white, just a titch of raw sienna. And you can see it's just, you know, all these gradations are just very subtly changing, but you can see the difference here between using the ultramarine and the cobalt blue. Cerulean is another blue that's used a lot of times for sky. I'm also going to show you the ultramarine blue with the Payne's gray and the white for that denim-y color, which should just be a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, because you're starting with, excuse me, a little, I'm sorry, I'm going backwards here. A little bit deeper, but you can already see how this is a little bit more toward a blue violet than that cobalt was. Add a little bit of white to it. Just a slightly different shade. I recommend that if you like to paint, you play around with color. Buy that color mixing for artists book, that's really helpful. But just play around with colors and see what you get. I think that's how I figured out how to get this color, is that I just took some cobalt, put some Payne's gray in it, and added some white, and thought, oh, I like that. It's a nice gray blue, kind of looks like denim. Now, if I wanted to go with, I wanted to make it more like a blue violet, I'd take a little bit of purple. Purple, that violet goes a long way. A little bit of that with some cobalt blue. And I'm going to get a blue violet here. More cobalt. See how that went really toward violet. Blue violet's beautiful color. I mean, all colors are beautiful. But you can see how you can get that variation, the changes in value, by adding a little bit more white. So that's there's your blue violet using cobalt blue. One of my favorite blue expressions is out of the blue. You think about out of the blue, like something that's surprising that you never expected. That's what I call it when a client calls and says, you know, I've been thinking about buying a painting from you for like 5 years, and today's the day. That's my favorite out of the blue. Here we are with ultramarine and dioxazine violet. Adding, and see, it's just a slight color change, but it is different. It is different.
Did you know that some scientists believe that the earliest humans were actually colorblind and could only recognize certain colors, black, white, red, and later yellow and green. And as a result, the early humans had no concept of the color blue and had no words to describe it.
Wow. I just thought people who were colorblind were men because they couldn't tell which color pants they had, because it seems like most men had problems with that.
That's true too.
So here we are, cobalt blue with a little deep green. I'm making a blue green. We have blue violet here. Now we're gonna have blue green here. So if you want a warmer, this would be called warmer because it's toward the warm palette of blue, you add the white to your green, which, you know, how do you make green? You use blue with yellow. So we're going toward the warmer side of the palette versus going toward the cooler side of the palette. Now we have ultramarine blue and a little bit of deep green, and we ought to see something slightly different. I'm not measuring. It's not a, color mixing is more like cooking than it is like baking. You know, there's no measurements exactly. So you have to remember that sure, you could get like 9 million variations with using these colors together. But look at the difference between the cobalt blue with the deep green and the ultramarine blue with the deep green. But look at the range. I mean, there's millions of colors you can do just with variations of blue. So next, I wanted to tell you about today's special, and that is our oldie but goodie. John and I took a drive out into the mountains today, and we saw these aspen trees in full bloom. It's a little, I mean, maybe not completely full bloom, but boy, they are so beautiful. Aspens with the bright yellow gold colors. This particular painting was from an area up here in Pine Top in the White Mountains, but aspens are aspens, Colorado, wherever you live, Utah. And this painting is an original. It's $2,200, but for our special of the day, our oldie but goodie, we're going to sell this for $1,500 if you'd like to give us a call or send us an email and let us know if you want it. It's 36 inches tall, 24 inches wide. Be great for a cabin or home in the mountains. And last but not least, we have today's Pearls of Wisdom. Today's Pearls of Wisdom are from Albert Einstein. Albert, you're back. Albert says you have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else. Thanks, Albert. I'll remember that. Thanks for joining us today, folks. We hope you enjoyed the show and tune in next time. Remember, you can go to our website and see all of this ridiculousness. Bye-bye. Stay safe. Be well. Cheers.